Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to be doing a recap of the story of Warwick Pimo. Let's get right into it. This story comes out of Mozambique. This man, finally named as Mauricio Fernando, has come out as the person who has been releasing information, basically a whistleblower. He credits these videos being released to the victory that we recently saw in Norway. Now it kind of makes sense why he was confronted by those local elders, why the circuit overseer had to get involved, the branch office in Mozambique had to get involved, is because they finally found the rat. They finally found the person who was releasing all of this information. Now, the crazy part is how they went about it, okay? And this is why I want to cover it a little bit more and show you the news article. I'm going to include the links in the description below so that you can read it for yourself, you can see it for yourself, and I'm also going to show it here. He goes on to allege that he was basically kidnapped, that he was confronted, that he was told that he would have to give over his electronic devices, and that if he didn't, that he wasn't able to leave. That to me sounds like holding somebody against their will. So I was hearing these rumors throughout different chats and ex-Jehovah's Witness forums, but I could never find the article that actually said this. And so finally, I found it on Reddit. So that's exactly what I'm going to be sharing. He also alleges that he had the proof, he had the document that proves that Watchtower has spies that are monitoring ex-Jehovah's Witness forums like Reddit and other ones as well. I'm going to show the news clip, and it is in a different language, but it does have English subtitles. So I'm going to play it, and then I can pause and just describe what's going on.
Perpetrados por líderes daquela organização religiosa. Maurício Fernando diz que a organização manipula a justiça, tem espiões, proíbe fazer faculdade e há casos de abuso de menores que são ocultados.
Chama-se Maurício Fernando e durante 12 anos esteve ligado às testemunhas de Jeová no departamento de tradução e há meses foi desassociado por ter descoberto e destapado supostas verdades ocultas, cenário que vai contra os princípios da organização religiosa.
A organização tentava manipular a justiça norueguesa.
Okay, so right there in the beginning, we learned that Mauricio Fernando was a Jehovah's Witness for 12 years and that he was in the translation department. That makes sense how he had access to this kind of information and why this is a witch hunt for this guy. So then he goes on to claim that the organization was trying to manipulate the Norwegian justice system.
Então, naquela manipulação, eles tentaram apagar algumas evidências. Essas evidências têm a ver com dois vídeos que tinham a ver com
that they tried to delete some videos that were related to the disassociation process within the organization.
Processo da desassociação dentro da organização. E nesse processo, eles tentavam omitir a verdade na justiça. E como uma das formas de omitir, tentaram apagar dois vídeos que eram para ser exibidos dentro de congresso regional no ano passado. Então, peguei aqueles vídeos por ver que há necessidade.
So those were two videos that were being played at the regional convention last year. And I think he's also referring to those shunning videos. And so he claims that he took those videos because he saw that there was a need to expose the truth.
De eu expor a verdade daquilo que realmente está a acontecer. Peguei aqueles vídeos e tornei-os públicos. Acabei tendo
So he took that video and made it public, and he ended up having a file or a document.
Ficheiro ou documento que dava indícios de que há espiões.
That gave indications that there are spies within the organization who monitor XJW forums.
Dentro da organização que monitoram fóruns aqueles que são chamados apóstatas. Então, com aquela informação, eu consegui ver que realmente na organização existe espiões.
E não é apenas isso. Maurício Fernando fala de desencorajamento aos membros da organização, a não fazerem ensino superior, supostamente poderão servir ao diabo.
He then goes on to explain how the Jehovah's Witnesses view college, that it shapes you into a type of person, and it's basically demonic. If you want to see the entire clip, I'm going to include the link in the description. And he also goes into the CSA issues to the Australian Royal Commission in 2015. I mean, I think this guy has been very instrumental in the takedown of Watchtower. All of these court cases that we have been seeing, all of the releases, all of the leaks, all of these things that have been happening are from the great work of apostates, of people who are in the organization that leak this information to these forums. And that's why I think they are trying to threaten this man. It already has been confirmed that he is expelled. The news article that I'm going to bring up next explains that he has already been expelled. In that video, he also claims that they threatened him with his family. And that threat is in relation to shunning. They threaten you with your family. And that's exactly why I think shunning is so dangerous. And it's nasty. It's diabolical to say that if you don't do what we say, then your family is never going to talk to you again. Because once you get expelled or removed or disfellowshipped from the organization, once your name is announced on that stage, nobody will ever talk to you ever again. And they won't even ask why. And so this is why I think it's important to keep this story alive, to keep talking about Mauricio's situation, because he's a real person with feelings, just like all of us. And they call us apostates, and they try to discredit us like they did with Mauricio. The lawsuit is being filed by one of the victims who was expelled from Jehovah's Witnesses, allegedly, because he discovered and disseminated sensitive information on his social networks that jeopardizes the organization's image, some of which has to do with the disassociation and prohibition of any member from attending higher education and sexual abuse of minors. And I'm going to skip down a few paragraphs and I'm going to read about what Mauricio describes what happened next. He accuses them of committing the crime of persecution and threats. The alleged victim told how it all started. Quote, a man called Adriano Paulo, who is responsible for the Sitsua language, came to my house to pick me up by car. That was on the 6th of September last year, claiming that he needed my help and said that I should dress formally. In my greatest innocence, I went to do everything quickly. I didn't take a shower or eat anything, thinking that it was something that wouldn't take long. When we left my house, we passed by a place to stop to look for Mr. Orlando, who pretended to be giving that man a lift while they had already planned everything. Then they took me to the witness hall, to the Kingdom Hall, located in the Serafina area where I was judged and convicted, said the alleged victim, who is no longer a member of the Jehovah's Witnesses, adding, I was separated from Jehovah's Witnesses because I discovered some secrets that the institution hid, and I also noticed dishonesty within the institution. With all that stuff, they started persecuting me. In the second page, I'm just going to drop down and skip to this paragraph over here. They do talk about the Norway case. And then it goes ahead and says the alleged victim claims that within Jehovah's Witnesses, there is a group of individuals who act as spies and have the mission of controlling and manipulating the minds of those aware so that they do not discover the other side of that religious institution. But what the institution didn't know is that before deleting it, I had already copied those videos and made them public on social media. When I worked in the translation department, I ended up discovering a file that indicated that within the institution, there are spies who monitor the forums of those called apostates. These spies approached me, pretending to be my friends, to try to obtain information about the reasons that I was divulging the institution's secrets. And they also wanted to find out if that account that came in other names was mine or not. The source claims that he was subjected to an interrogation lasting almost 12 hours without interruption and without the right to a meal. In this process, the interrogators were able to obtain the information they needed, which in some way incriminated the institution. Then, according to the complainant, they seized and searched the cell phone to delete any information that tarnished the organization's image. And so that's exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for the article, I was looking for the proof that describes that he was allegedly kidnapped, withheld against his will. I almost don't want to believe it. But then again, we got to remember who we're talking about here. We're talking about Watchtower. And we are also talking about Watchtower finally finding out who's the rat, who is releasing this information. And so it looks like they have allegedly did all of these things to Mauricio Fernando, and I'm so happy that he is suing them. Whatever type of evidence that he does have, I'm glad that he is taking legal action, because within the XW community, people have said that his account kind of went a little rogue, that he was posting things that didn't sound like himself. And so that would make sense if Watchtower obtained the information and they were trying to post things themselves or try to change the narrative or to make it look that Warwick Pimo was not a credible source anymore. And so that is what incriminates them, because if they did take his login information or post it without his consent or anything, I think we are going to see something really big coming out of Mozambique really soon. I'm also going to keep updating if I find any new information about this story. But as you have already seen in the article and also in the video, this brother has already been expelled. And so I think that it's really sad because we already know what's going to happen, you know? And that's why a lot of us are physically in, mentally out. A lot of us have just faded, just become inactive, is because we know the moment we get announced on that stage and they say that we have been removed because now they want to change the language. But in reality, it's disfellowshipping, it's excommunication. It's when they allow shunning to occur. And sometimes it doesn't even matter if you are a minor. Many of us have had bad experience with this shunning. And so this brother was actually doing something really good. He was exposing them for their lies, exposing them for the hypocrisy that Watchtower is. They are full of a bunch of hypocrites, and it's not going to be hidden anymore. The internet is here and it's doing a great service to us, and we have to continue to put pressure on Watchtower. And if more people come out and more people leak information, that is what keeps this activism alive, because we have the information. We finally have the information. All of these things have been kept so tight-lipped for so many years, and that's why they have been able to cover up everything that the Jehovah's Witnesses have been accused of. And so I am really proud of Mauricio. If he is watching this or seeing his story being told, just know that we are all with you. We are all behind you. We got your back here. The XJW community is proud of you and happy that you have done this. And I hope that everything goes well for Mauricio. I want to thank everybody for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.